All right, you guys, welcome to step 3 or video 3 of this tutorial series on just really the basics of Revit. In this third video, we're going to be finally getting into the meat of how Revit functions. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to practice zooming. So notice where my cursor is. It's right on top of my little shed. I'm going to put my cursor on top of there and I'm just going to scroll. And I'm scrolling very slowly, just one little click at a time. And I'm scrolling in on my shed. Please be aware if you scroll fast, it will zoom quicker. If you put your cursor somewhere else, it's going to zoom in on where your cursor is. That's why we want our cursor on top of our shed. Now that I've zoomed in a little bit, I can see some more details. In this shed, I have 4 walls and a door. Let's add some more details. The very first thing we want to add is a window. I'm going to click on my window tool. My automatic default when I go into my window tool is a fixed window. That means it doesn't open. So I'm going to change that window type by clicking on that fixed window on my properties bar off to the left. And I am going to scroll down and I am going to choose a window casement. Not a window double hung, but I want to choose a window casement double. And I want you all to choose the 34 by 36 window. You're going to click on it, and then you're going to bring your cursor in. Notice when I bring my cursor in, when I'm not on a wall, I have a no, you can't do that symbol. So I'm going to bring my cursor in, and I'm going to be inside my shed. I don't want my symbol to be facing with the little swing bars in. I'm going to move my cursor a teeny bit more so the swing is out. I'm going to roughly find center. Notice it's nice and it pops to center for me if I'm being patient. Right there. And I'm going to drop it on the center. It's thinking and boom. I now have a double casement window on the wall on the left. For now, that's all we're going to place. And we're going to hop back into our architecture tab. Notice at the top of Revit, I have a bunch of different things. I have tools, I have tabs, and we are not going to be focusing on all those tabs right now. We're just going to be focusing on 2 at this point. There's one more thing I need to do over here. It's still in my modify in place, so I'm just going to hit escape a couple of times. There we go. Now I'm out of my window tool. I was under that modify. I knew I was still in my tool, so I needed to hit escape twice. Now that I'm out of that tool, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to hit this little arrow right here. Oops, wrong way. There we go. And I want to move it down a teeny bit. Wrong direction again. And I'm going to be adding in some dimensions. We don't have a dimension tab on the top because it is actually annotate. So I'm going to go to my annotate tool. I'm going to click on it one time. And you'll see up on the top, I have a couple of different options for annotating. I am going to grab my linear dimension tool. And I am going to be placing some wall dimensions. I'm going to go to the corner of this wall. I'm going to click. I'm going to go to the corner of this wall, and I'm going to click. And then I'm going to place that 16-foot measurement somewhere outside my shed. It should say 16 when you click on that. If you didn't, it could be because your cursor wasn't quite in the right spot. Notice when I click on these little blue circles, it changes where it's grabbing the measurement from. This wall is actually a 6-inch thick wall. So when I move it, it's actually making that measurement smaller. And I need it to say 16. I will be looking for that. And I will also be looking that your dimensions go to the outside. So we have that top wall measured. And now we're going to measure the window. So I'm still on my linear tool. And I'm going to start at the bottom corner. And middle. And look at it, it's just not quite working. So I'm going to hit escape 2 times and I'm going to switch from my linear tool to my aligned tool. Let's see if this one works. So I'm going to go try that again. Look at it, it's popping to the center. That's okay. I want that wall and I want the middle of my window and I want that wall. Perfect. And now I'm going to place it somewhere out. Great. And now in architecture, I always need my measurements to go to the outside. So I'm just clicking on those blue circles until it pops to the outside. Awesome. I'm now going to hit on my keyboard my escape button one time and I'm out of that measurement tool. Notice that my measurements are really close to center. That's going to be definitely close enough. And now I'm ready to take another screenshot at this point and submit this to our third assignment in our Schoology shed edit project.